Hi guys, so I just want to add a little bit of an extra clip in here to this episode. So unfortunately this morning we woke up, today's the day we launch for patrons, then tomorrow it goes live for YouTube, and the laptop has crashed and died on us. So unfortunately no MacBook, and everything that Eric has been working on the last 3-4 days has disappeared. So this morning we've got one super lucky, next door Stephen has allowed us to borrow his MacBook. And we've got everything up and running on there. So, and we had some footage still on the GoPro, some raw footage. So she's managed to put this episode together for you guys, super high speed, just within a few hours. So we hope you enjoy it, and
it's one of the problems of being live with our videos.
Live with the videos, we've got no time to cover our butts, if you will. And also, if something goes wrong with technology-wise, and living in this environment, it's very harsh on all our cameras, computers, and all that sort of stuff. So we're fingers crossed we can find a technician here in Dominican Republic, but it's not looking good. So we're gonna have to borrow Stevens for a couple of days and see what we can organize. Anyway, guys, enjoy this episode.
We are Davy and Erica, an adventurous couple who has taken on the challenge of a lifetime. We are rebuilding a hurricane-damaged catamaran, and we are starting to see progress of all our hard work. Subscribe to our channel to follow our journey. When faced with a challenge, look for a way, not a way out.
Okay, guys, welcome to this week's episode. So, massive question. 1. Have we made a big mistake? Let's talk fairing filler. Okay guys, so a little bit reference to how we started this video. Have we made a massive mistake? So as someone has pointed out, one of our viewers, and thanks again for jumping in, I love the fact that we're live, because the fact that we're live, if we maybe make a mistake or need to rectify something and someone points it out, we do listen to the comments. So we have noticed one thing. So we showed in the last episode that we're using this body filler here, which we have referenced to. I don't know if you can see it here. There is a little, it has a marine sign. It's for boats. Yeah. All right. So we've been using this one, but we don't speak Spanish and we didn't check the contents. This is actually a polyester-based product, not an epoxy-based product.
We were told it was epoxy based.
We were told. We went into the store, we said we want 2-part epoxy, and we've ended up with a 2-part polyester. So we've only used it on 2 places on the boat. Now we're in a bit of a, call it a predicament. Yeah. Is that a way to say it? Yeah. We haven't gone that far that we've used too much. We can always grind it off. But I do want to know, we've done some research. Well, I've definitely been sitting on the internet this morning and looking into it. Yes, epoxy is the recommended. You should always use epoxy on top of epoxy, not polyester on top of epoxy. But there is also the fact, if it bonds, it works. Shouldn't use polyester below the waterline. I want to do a test. Let's do a test and see how this stuff turns out.
Look at those eyes. I reckon they are getting better, guys.
Hey, giving a big shout out to Ron. So one of our very, very first patrons, actually our very first patron, Ron, apparently he had the same problem with the black eyes. Something to do with also your diet, getting the right vitamins and stuff. So Ron's reached out to us and he has actually decided to send us...
Pause for just a moment.
Yep.
In the comments, is it vitamins or vitamins?
Oh, here we go again. Anyway, so Ron has reached out to us and he's sending us a little package in the post. So thanks again, Ron. He's always looking after us. And he's sending me some vitamins, or vitamins, whichever way you want to say it, to see if there might be a deficiency there to help out a little bit with the black eyes. So stay tuned, find out if they disappear.
So one of the things with the test is once we put the body filler on there and let it dry and all cure and everything, then we can like destroy it and see what happens to it.
Yeah, it's basically a destruction test. So
see what
I want to show you guys. Okay, so this morning I decided to make up this piece. So this piece here, I've made it out of the epoxy that we have. I laid up three layers of 8 ounce, 2 layers of 16 ounce, and then 3 layers of 8 ounce again on the top, and a little bit of the fairing compound, not fairing compound, sorry, the adhesive mixture that we have on the top here. So I've made, it's basically like any other repair we've done on the boat, and it's
super strong.
made this morning, super strong. Yes, it's flexible, it's fiberglass. It's only what, 10 by 10 inches, so it's flexible. It's dried beautifully today.
Is that 10
really
inches?
Good test. 10 inches. Anyway, so it's a beautiful little test piece. The reason I could have actually made this completely flat, but I decided to lay it out over an uneven surface. So it's like if you're filling an uneven surface just for this test. So what I want to do now is I'm going to mix up some of this body filler that we've got, the polyester one, and I'm going to smear it out across this one. And then what I'm going to do afterwards, while that's drying, we're going to run across the container we've got over there and pull out some of the fairing filler that we've got that you can mix with epoxy, and we're going to do that on the opposite side. We're going to let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow we're going to beat the hell out of this and find out does it really physically adhere. We're going to give it like 24 hours and really try, and we'll put it on the table, we'll twist it, we'll bend it. Does it fall off, does it flake off? That's the idea. So let's give it a go. I want to go thick. I probably don't lay it this thick, to be honest, on the repairs, because I try and lay glass. But for the sake of the test.
So that, again, was that a scientific calculation of how much hardener?
It was extremely scientific. The caterpillar needs to be that long.
He hasn't washed it with acetone yet, and he's already mixed it, and it only has about 3 minutes. He's got 3 minutes.
Luckily, this acetone flashes off really quick.
So while we're down here and Davy's mixing this putty stuff, I figured we'd do a couple more questions, just for a time filler. So one of our questions that we got, when you see your cat and compare it with others, your mast looks so much shorter. Is it an illusion? So, sorry. We bought this boat as a hurricane damaged boat. It didn't have a mast. The previous owner put a short stumpy mast up in the hopes that he could fly a spinnaker. I'm not sure if that would have worked. I don't know if you've seen the latest videos, but we have taken the mast down. Am I missing anything?
No, basically the mast that you've seen, guys, it's not the correct mast, obviously, for this boat. It was put up temporarily. It was just in the hope that the boat could be moved somewhere else or possibly used temporarily until the boat could afford to have a bigger mast. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera, but
that's all right.
I'm having a great time here making a mess, basically.
Wait. Oh, it's cured already.
Okay, so the first level, that's getting real close to curing already. This stuff goes off so quick, it's unreal. This is shaving off the side. So I think the first one there, the first side, obviously I'm going to give it a sand before anything. I want to make it just like we would if it was finished on the boat. And the other side here, we will do that in 20 minutes with the epoxy based fairing filler. One great little thing that I have worked out, there is an old magazine, works really, really well for mixing this stuff. Because once you're done with mixing up one and it goes off in a few minutes, you just rip the top sheet off and bam, you've got another mixing surface to go on. Yep.
So if we were to win the lottery and we were going to upgrade and buy a new, bigger boat, would we buy a Fontaine Peugeot? Or would we even buy like a brand new Mach-E 36? What do you think?
Depends how much money we want. In the big scheme of things.
Yeah.
We definitely don't have anything against Fontaine Peugeots.
No.
Apart from the fact it is just like a lot of the other production boats out there. Things aren't designed for, what do you call, long-term maintenance. They're production boats. They're built to be built quickly. They're fast. They're good boats. They're solid boats. But they're not designed to be, I presume, user-friendly in the long term.
Yeah. Well, and that's specifically like certain things are hard to get out.
Exactly. It's just the way they build them, because they start with the hulls and then they put everything inside and then they put the top layer on, and then when you come to later on you've got a problem with something, it's really awkward sometimes to get to stuff. It's like, why would you put it there? it's easy in the factory. It's a production boat. They want to sell 500 of them this season. So I can understand why they do it. Are they great boats? Yes, they are, for sure.
I mean, a Sabre 50 would be all right.
Erica's getting greedy.
I mean, if we won the lottery, we'd want to win the big one.
I want
right?
the Balance 52.
Well, yeah, Balance 52 is like the dream boat, but anyway.
How big is the lottery win? Is it a scratch card, or are we talking Euro Millions?
Yeah. What happened, babe?
I've made all the parts I need to do a patch and the wind's blowing away.
What was that noise, babe?
Don't put that on YouTube, I'm gonna kill you. No, but don't. I sized up a patch to do a repair, and I've lost a couple of pieces. But it's fine, and I didn't squeak.
Yes, you did squeak.
I don't like doing things twice.
Oh, you lost your piece of plastic now.
I don't need it anymore, but
You
I
might
don't want
squeak
it going
again.
into the environment. I don't want any cross-contamination.
You don't want what?
Cross-contamination.
So shouldn't you then do 2 samples so that you have 2 different bits?
Yeah, I've got 2 sides. Hey, come on, I'm not a scientist. Even though people call me the professor. Let's do it with part A. It's windy now.
It was windy before.
No, it's picking up.
It was supposed to pick up today, right?
It was supposed to pick up around 3 o'clock, and it's just after now, so.
Oh, it's so precise.
I have a measuring cup.
So the one good thing that I can see about this one is this stuff doesn't take as long to cure.
But that's not a good thing to me, because when I'm doing fairing and sanding, I like the fact that the other stuff cures very, very quickly.
I
Because
suppose.
I can then go back to it after 25 minutes and sand it.
Yeah, but if it's not the right product for our job, then...
We'll see.
But the problem with this one is it had little beads in it, so you have to...
It doesn't give a perfect finish when you're doing the sanding, that's for sure. So we may need to find a slightly different
filler.
type, or there was a sieve, and if we ran this stuff through a sieve to get the lumps out,
When it's not windy.
when it's not windy, exactly, then we may get a better result as well. As we say, we're experimenting. We're in a developing country. We can't get everything that we want immediately. It's not like running down the road to West Marine around here.
And getting some West system.
Exactly. Also, we're on a budget. Of course, we want to do the boat. She has to be structurally strong and everything has to last. That is priority number 1. But also, there has to be the ease of getting what you need.
Yep.
Within budget.
Agreed.
Okay, so pat a cake, bake me a cake. Let's let that sit and let it dry. We'll be back tomorrow, so we're going to leave that overnight and yeah, come back and beat the hell out of it. Find out what actually happens. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
If it sticks nice and hard either side, then we know what we've got to use. So,
But then here's another question. Well, not a question, just a comment. So on top of these repairs, we're going to be... sorry, I have an itch on my leg.
Beaten by the bug.
Yeah. On top of these repairs, we do have an epoxy barrier coat that we're going to be putting on before we do our painting. So will the epoxy barrier coat hold it in nice and tightly and secure it and seal it? And
very, very good point that Erica made there. The fact that anything we put below the waterline is going to have like 4 coats of epoxy barrier coat.
Well, and
on
even
the
above
top.
the waterline is
and
going to
above,
have it too.
all the way up to the gunnel, is going to be epoxy barrier coat. So this boat is going to be completely sealed with an epoxy-based barrier coat below the waterline and above the waterline as a primer as well. So,
but then if it's a polyester base, will it not stick to the first epoxy and then it'll just delaminate and it'll be in the middle and it'll be like...
we were doing so well until you rabbled on them. Okay, so let's talk about this first. Let's talk about what we did.
Yeah.
Okay, camera's rolling. So, as you know, yesterday, guys, we made up the piece of epoxy and we were doing our test. So, the brown colouring is the epoxy-based fairing filler, which we have a limited amount of. The green side, or greeny blue, turquoise, whatever you want to call it, is what we've now found out to be polyester based. So we're going to do a sanding test to find out how well each one sands, and then afterwards we're going to do a destructive test, i.e. stress test on it, to see if anything delaminates. This is only 24 hours old basically, so I'm sure someone's going to put in the comments here, oh, but it's not going to delaminate until you've been in the water for 6 months. We've done a bit of research, we've asked a few experts, and we've also got a friend of ours in the background over here that's gonna... Clark?
Okay. All right, I saw his video too. I saw him say epoxy. It's not epoxy, it's polyester, but I have a boat that is more than 50 years old. I've had it for 30 years. And I was doing some work on the rudder once, and I'm only using epoxy, you know, I'm doing it all right. And grinding away, and I get into something, and it's very obvious it's polyester, because it's got a styrene smell, and you sand it, you know it's different. Well, it was fine. It was in an area that was delaminated, or that water had gotten into, and water was behind it, but it was fine. And it's still in the boat. It's been 30 years since, and it's fine. I've gone 25,000 ocean miles with it through all kinds of crap. It's fine. Now you put the stuff on cars and you shake cars like a boat could never be shaken. And they flex. And yes, sometimes it fails, but it's metal. It's hard to dig into. I think it'll be fine. I haven't said it already. I think it's going to be fine.
Sweet. Let's do our test then.
Well, I want to know how the test works out.
Yeah. What was that?
So that sounded pretty good anyway. I know I have used this product. I used it actually on the Sugar Scoop. It sands pretty good. Nowhere near close to being ready for paint, but this is a 60 grit, brand new 60 grit paper. So if we were to go with like 320 or higher, then maybe we get a smoother surface. But anyway, just for a quick reference, let's try the other side for about the same length of time.
It's easier to sand.
Okay, that was a lot less time. This is a lot easier to sand, that's for sure. But that's not really the point of this test. The point of this test is, can we leave what we've got on the boat? Will it stick? Will it last out? One of the main things is, this is a 24-hour test. It's not been submerged in salt water. I've done a lot of reading in the last 24 hours, and most people are saying you can use this on top of epoxy, but it's not waterproof. It will suck in water. But we are also doing all the way up to the gunnel. We are actually putting an epoxy barrier coat.
Probably like 4 coats.
Several coats. Below the waterline, probably 7 or 8 coats, and above that, probably 3 or 4. So that would make this waterproof, so it wouldn't actually be able to penetrate water.
I think thinking about it of taking water, and that's an issue, because some of them they use talcum powder as they're thinner, and that inherently absorbs water. And I use, like I do when I do my wind generators, I mix polyester with talcum to make my stuff. It looks great. But think about it this way. Yeah, maybe it absorbs some water, but would it absorb as much as balsa wood would?
Nowhere near.
And balsa wood is just inside of the same kind of thing you're going to put it in.
Exactly.
So this is going to be better than what 99% of your boat's made of.
Also, another thing I read last night when I was doing my research was everyone's talking about you can't put polyester on top of an epoxy repair. But guys, what's inside your gel coat? Polyester. It's gel coat is polyester based, and you put that on top of all of your repairs. Does it fail?
It's not that you can't, it's just that you have to give it a mechanical
bond. So a good sand, you've got a good keyway that you can actually dig into. So this is a really controversial one. So guys, we want this in the comments. Clark's also told me he's going to be checking out our comments as well, so I hope Clark's going to be jumping on to defend me a little bit here. We haven't made any final decisions. Are we removing it? Are we not removing it? It's just in the test stage at the moment. I haven't put any more on, that much I can tell you. But
And where it is, if it fell right off the boat, it's not like you're going to sink.
we
or
would
anything.
not sink. We
All
just
the
have an
structures
ugly
under it.
mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like the
So-
boat's going to be in risk.
Are we gonna try and destroy it?
Let's try and just. How should we try and destroy it? I don't even know how. It's literally bulletproof.
Put it in here and pry against, maybe. Well, is that too wide?
That's too wide. I'm gonna.
Did I see a hammer?
How many push-ups, babe?
Certainly not delaminating easily. But it is very flexible still.
I can't make it. I can't make it break. You want to try?
So look at it. Well, I'm pretty convinced it was okay just chemically thinking of it, so I'm not gonna hurt myself.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get a bit more violent.
The thing is, it's still flexible because it's still a green.
No, I did get a crack.
You got a crack?
Oh, you did
I
get
got
a
a crack. I got a crack.
Oh.
But if I hit something that hard in my boat, I definitely did get a crack. I'll give it
No,
that.
crack doesn't matter. Does it delaminate? If you can peel that crack back, that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Crack I got, but that was one hell of an impact. I'm gonna get a screwdriver.
Okay, here, let me try this.
Yeah.
You can step on that edge. Let me get it on the thing.
I broke the fiberglass. You can hear the fiberglass breaking.
You did? Wait, maybe a little? But we're getting ridiculous now.
The boat's.
So
Well, I'm like 180.
To be honest,
and-
I heard the fiberglass
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
and that was 3 layers of 8-ounce matting, 2 layers of 16-ounce, and 3 layers of 8-ounce on top.
And we had these on this way. What's
This
that?
way.
Not compression, the other one. Tension. Anyway, tension load. What is
Yeah.
it?
Torsion load, tension load.
And
Someone
that's
will
not what
correct
this
us.
is strong for.
No.
So,
I must say one thing though, that didn't fail.
well, that one was under compression. You want that one to fail? You do this.
All right, let's try again.
This spot. You need a little more to jump on.
All right, you good?
Did I slip? I think it's just getting silly. Oh, you're not
Yeah,
gonna
we
break
did.
it with that.
We got a crack. We got
Okay.
a crack, but not as big as the other side.
yeah.
Uh-huh. But that's
So
what these are good
definitely.
Should we
for.
do
That's
this
why
one?
we use glass, because glass is good in that.
Yeah. But the thing is, filler is not strong. This is just to get it ready for paint.
Yep.
The strength is what we've put on and built up before putting this on. We just want a nice flat surface for our beautifully polished paint.
Okay, if this fell off the boat, you wouldn't sink. A. B. There is some that's been on my boat for at least 30 years. It was old when I bought
Yeah.
it 30 years ago. It hasn't fallen off the boat. I think you're going to be okay.
I know we're going to be okay, but our lives are on YouTube and everyone likes to put in their 2 cents. So put it in the comments, guys.
You know, if everybody did exactly what the manufacturer said to do every single time, they would be paying way too much money and no one would learn stuff.
Yeah.
If you watch my channel, you know I learn stuff.
You learn stuff the hard
Generally,
way.
it works out pretty well. If you think of it from first principle physics, it usually works.
Yeah. It didn't delaminate. It cracked, yes, but I'm not expecting fairing filler not to.
Do that with concrete, it would break.
It will break.
The dogs are going crazy.
Wake up, get some blood in your face. No puffy eyes.
Get rid of those black eyes,
Get rid
right?
of those black eyes, with a bit of blood flowing through the face. Don't tell, oh, you're not filming, are
I am.
you? Alright, so comment on this. The first side I'm sanding is the epoxy side. You talk about it.
But
I'm on camera already.
yeah.